Hey Aquarians, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your January 2020 reading. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the astrology, and we're actually going to keep these monthlies a little bit shorter. Do check out your January 2020, your yearly 2020 to 2021 reading. When I get that up, we're going to talk about all the astrology for you guys, specifically for you for the year, as well as pulling a card for each month. And I've been really enjoying how the readings have been coming out. I feel like they're pretty on point this year, so definitely go check those out when they're up for your sun, moon, and rising. Do make sure to subscribe if you haven't. I've been noticing that YouTube has been unsubscribing me from like all of my favorite channels and stuff, so I've had to go back, look at them, make sure I'm still subscribed, make sure I hit that little bell because I haven't been getting notified for like a bunch of my favorite people. So just make sure that you're also subscribed and stuff, because YouTube be messing with people. So Aquarius, let's check this out here. We're going to use the Muka Tarot, which was given to me by my Capricorn friend Riley for Christmas. So thanks, Riley. Shout out there. And we're going to use a couple of my, my new Oracle decks as well. Okay, Aquarius? So it's for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If it doesn't resonate, the messages are not for you. Don't take them. Let's talk about the astrology while we shuffle, okay? So the Sun is going to be in your 12th house in Capricorn right now. On December 4th, we had Mars moving into Sagittarius, which is that's your 11th house there. So that is more about putting energy into communities, groups, new work situations, stuff like that. So we could be finding ourselves in new groups of people, wanting to talk to more people, finding new groups here, just getting out there, meeting new people, all that kind of stuff. 10th of December, we have the lunar eclipse, full moon in Cancer in the North Node. Check that out. I did a video on that, and I pulled a card for each sign and talked about the astrology, so definitely go check that out, guys. Let's see what else we got here. So that's the 10th there, and that's going to be in your, if that's in Cancer, what is that for you? I don't know off the top of my head the houses. Forgive me. I'm not really great at math, so it's hard for me to do the counting. So what is that? Aquarius. Sixth house for you? Yeah, 6th house. So check out what that means for you. And also check out where your houses lie by figuring out your rising and stuff. There's sites that do that. 12th of December, we have Saturn moving into, I almost said Saturn moving into Pluto. We have a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. And that's really big. It's going to be extremely powerful because it hasn't happened since the early 80s. It's going to be helping you create really big goals. If you're willing to put in the work, you can transform and really rebirth here in your life. That's what Saturn and Pluto is all about. It's really taking your power and not being a victim, really focusing on your new perspectives and like where you want to feel empowered. Cut back on commitments and responsibilities that are no longer appropriate for you as well. It really helps you focus on, what are your priorities and what are you committing to, and if it's really where you want to be right now. I feel like it just got really dark in here. I hope it lightens up again. 16th, 17th of December, we have Mercury moving into your sign, Aquarius, your first house. And then the 20th, 21st, we have the Sun moving into your sign. So happy early birthday to all my earlier Aquarians. Happy birthday, guys, and all my Capricorn Aquarius cusps. Happy birthday. On the 24th, we have a new moon in your sign, so in your first house. And it's going to be really having you focus on you, on what you want to create, what you want to do for probably the next year. It's just going to be a really good energy in terms of that. And you're going to feel very cleared out, very open for whatever's coming in, and ready to change, ready to shift, ready to start making some big moves. So those are your astrology mentions there, Aquarius. Let's move on now to your tarot, okay? We're not going to pull too many cards this month, but we're going to see what pops up for Aquarius for the rest of January 2020. Ooh, wow. Okay, we'll take that. Wow, I just did the one for Capricorn, and I have to say, both of you guys got some really intense King energy. They had King of Pentacles, you got King of Cups. So let's keep moving on here. Aquarius, how this plays out, the rest of the month plays out for you. Ooh, what is popping around so weirdly? Wow. I've shuffled these. It's interesting to see some of these coming up again. One more. Okay. All right. Here we go. Not bad read. Not a bad read, guys. So again, your energy for the rest of this month here, your first card out is the King of Cups. For some of you, we could be dealing with a water sign, and for a lot of you, it might be a Cancer or a Scorpio, maybe a Pisces. But the King of Cups talks about a lot more than that. So I'm not gonna really talk about him in terms of the signage, because I'm not going too deep with this reading. So I feel that, you know, we don't need to get focused up on that, and I don't need to drop the card every 5 seconds. So let's talk about this. You know, the King of Cups here is just really, he's got great depth, compassion, understanding. So to me, this talks about your ability, not your ability, but your growth emotionally here. Some of you have deepened your compassion, deepened your understanding, deepened also possibly a love for yourself. And that is very, I don't know, it just feels like you guys are in a really great place of self-love here. And it's kind of a nice little stopping point. It's kind of a nice month for you to really check in with how you're feeling, check in with your emotions, and seeing where you want to go. You've built a nice solid foundation for where you're at right now, but I do think that emotionally you're looking within and trying to see where this is going to go from here, how this is going to work out. Let me just fix this light, because I don't know what just happened, but it got really dark outside, so I will turn on the other light here. All right, so let's check this out again. I don't know, the King of Cups for me is very emotionally independent. He doesn't have to depend on other people in terms of his emotions. He's not looking to others for stability, for strength, for realization. And I think a lot of you are getting to this point where you're like, I don't really need somebody else. I don't really need another person in this equation. I think that it's time for me to really just look at, you know, the goals that I've been working towards and the priorities that I now am stepping in, you know, what is now my priority. Again, with that Saturn-Pluto conjunction on the 12th, that's going to be really big, and especially with all that eclipsean energy. Also look back to the eclipse around the 26th. What was brought up then, what was released, what were you thinking, feeling. That's why I always recommend journaling around, you know, the eclipses, because they come back. But the Chariot is your next card out here, and when I see the Chariot, I do feel we're making a decision in terms of which direction to go in. For me, it doesn't really feel like, you know, we've fully mastered going in one direction, or we fully are in one direction, just because we got two sphinxes here, but one of them is like lying down, the other one's kind of standing up. Everyone looks very leisurely, and he doesn't look like he's ready to take them both in any one direction. They don't really look like they're ready to start, you know, rearing off into the distance. Not, you know, this is very unlike my Gustav Klimt deck, where it's just a chariot flying in one direction here. This is kind of considering, you know, the opposites here and the tension over them. You know, where do we want to go? I want to be like this, but is how I'm living really like that? It's, you know, like, it's really looking at the inconsistencies in terms of, I don't know, the opposites that we're kind of going through here, you know, opposite poles, opposite desires, opposite directions, opposite feelings even. It's just, you know, where do I want to go? And if I feel this way, then why am I acting this way? Or if I want this, then why is this happening? It's very much looking at those types of aspects. And I'm actually going to pull a clarifier for you. I do have an extra clarifying deck, just in case some of these readings needed a little bit of an extra oomph, because I just feel these two first cards out. Sometimes I feel because I channel all my messages, it's really hard to put words to the exact emotions and the exact feelings, vibes, things that I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's about your goals. It's about where we're headed. It's about what is harmony, peace, and happiness for us here. Because for me, this is your perfected work. What I feel like some of you guys are kind of having questions about that. Four of Wands also has come up twice in your reading. It is in the center here. And that's the next kind of set I want to talk about here is these two fours, Four of Swords and then the Four of Wands. And with the Four of Wands underneath that, you know, King of Cups / Chariot energy there, the Four of Wands comes up twice, and it really says it's time to sit back and look at your goals. Look at where you're really headed. Have you even set them? Or you know, again, have your goals changed? Where you want to be, how you want to be living? Are you doing that right now? Or do we really need to sit down and look at, you know, okay, well, this is where I want to be headed, and yet I just kind of started up this other thing, and I'm doing this right now. well, does that other thing give you that sustenance? Does it give you the growth? Is it or is it your goals are changing, or that you've kind of sidetracked into some other places that aren't going to help you get to where you want to go? So these kind of questions are what you're going to be wrestling with, and I can't really tell you which way you're going to go with that because you're all different people and everyone has free will. But I think that the best way to work through it is to sit down, rest, and stop pushing forward too much in any one direction. It's about being exactly present where you are and, you know, really taking note of who you are now as a person. This is a really big month in terms of astrology. A lot is happening. Do go check out that reading for the full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer that I just did, because again, that energy lasts for 6 months, and it's important to check in with what's coming. I mean, it's not important to check it. It's going to come up at you anyways, but it has a lot to do with where you're headed, and this is kind of a really good place to stop and think about it. Think about where you're headed now and where it's going to take you in the long run. And is this really what I want to be doing? Is this really who I want to be? Or what is my Four of Wands? What is my dream, harmony, perfect life here? And am I living it? Am I on the track there? Or am I on a track somewhere different, and am I okay with that? Yeah. Wow. You guys might have to drop one thing to go for another. And I think that some of you might have started up something else in the process of trying to get to a different goal, and it might have kind of gotten in the way here. But Two of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, it's time to leave something that doesn't offer growth behind. When I get the Five of Pentacles, there's a sense of lack. There's also money troubles. So what is going to give you the stability? What do you feel truly connected with? Or what are you, I mean, as you go for one thing, it might feel very emotionally and spiritually empty because you're letting go of something that you really want to do, and that might be why you're coming to these questions this month. It's like, okay, things are moving forward in a great way with some things, but why do I feel so strange and empty? Why do I feel like this isn't, like, why am I not feeling the way I thought I'd be feeling about this? And it could be that you're not connecting a lot with other people. It could be that material things, you know, it could be that you're not making enough money, or it could be the very opposite. The money isn't the problem, but your soul just isn't in this, and it's not what you're supposed to be doing. And it could be that you kind of need to juggle yourself back to wherever it is you want to go. So take a rest and really think through this stuff here this month. Six of Wands and then the Page of Pentacles reverse signifies money, and the greed aspect of it isn't something to pay attention to me in this situation. If it's money that you're worried about, if it's sustenance, if it's, you know, I want to be rich, I want to be famous, we need to look at why and how we're looking. I don't know what you replace your other goals with. I don't know, for some reason I just get the sense you guys have been like you have certain goals, and yet what you're doing now doesn't support those goals, and you're really going to notice that this month and feel very much aware that you're not you're not headed in the direction you want to be going in. You're not headed to where you thought you would be headed. The Four of Wands is out there, but are you on a path there? Probably not, because, you know, something else has gotten in the way here. Something that doesn't offer you what you think it does right now. And maybe it's been nice for other reasons, but it's starting to rub you the wrong way, if that makes any sense here. And when I get the Page of Pentacles reverse, I can't help but feel there's been a sense of rebelliousness that has to do with this, a streak of rebelliousness. And I mean, and I'm talking to Aquarians, so of course there has been. But it's rebelliousness that has you turned away from, I don't know, it's almost like, you know, I know people expect me to do this and I'm good at this and all this stuff, but what if I just did this? And that's very Aquarian, to go and do something for the sake of doing it, to prove somebody wrong, to prove yourself wrong, to prove that you can do something, or just to experience something new. But I think that it has also turned you from where you ought to be going and where you want to be going. And I think you're starting to realize, ooh, my rebelliousness has kind of led me onto a path that is a bit more astray and not really where I thought it was going to take me. Or I'm not headed towards that Four of Wands that I thought I was headed towards. Instead, I'm kind of headed towards this. And it feels very lonely. It feels very out in the cold. It doesn't really feel like it's a part of anything. And do you really want to feel that way, or do you want to get to your Four of Wands? So these are questions that you guys are grappling with this month. I'll pull one more. Empress. Know that whatever it is that, and this is kind of focusing on advice for me when I was just pulling it, you're able to manifest in the life that you want, but I mean, like, you're there, you've manifested in this other thing, so it would be very easy for you guys to work now towards whatever it is you actually want to do. You've gained some experience, you've gained some learning, and I feel like you're ready for this change, so move towards it. And I feel like also this is saying by springtime, Taurus time, and also with the power of Uranus and Taurus, able to make some very sudden and shocking changes and, you know, tower moments here. It doesn't feel like it's a negative one. It feels like you can really create the life that you want. You can get to that Four of Wands, but you have to be willing to step away from something, to fully leave something in the past, to seek out again that Empress situation that you've been looking for. The Empress kind of sits to me at the Four of Wands. She's that perfect harmonious life, you know, she's got it all. The Four of Wands kind of has, you know, those 4 pillars. And when you put 2 fours in this deck, it's a great time to sit and think about what's going to bring that perfect harmony, that perfect balance, that life, and, you know, breathe life back into your goals, breathe life back into your dreams and getting there. Because again, the path that you're on is very, I don't know, there's just contradictory energy here. And I think it's that sense of rebelliousness. And now you're kind of like emotionally, and I don't know, you've just matured to a point where you're like, okay, well, that was rebellious and fun, but I kind of need to grow up and move forward now. And not, you know, dip into that again, because did that really do much for me? Yeah, it was good for some reasons, but it's not getting me where I want to go. Big stuff this month, Aquarius. None of it's really bad. I have to say, none of it's bad. The Five of Pentacles is never a great feeling, but I think it's something that we have to kind of grapple with and reckon here in this situation. Let's pull, I'm kind of just drawn to pull something from the Goddess deck, so I'm not even going to use the Power deck for this, because your reading has gone a little bit over time than what I wanted it to be. It's been fun, though. These are supposed to be shorter. Ooh, let's see what we get here for a Goddess message for you. Okay. Vesta. Yes. Again, it's like very much about home. Like, where do you want to be living? And if you guys are not living in the place you want to be living, if you're not living the life in a rounded, wonderful, harmonious way, in that perfect way that you've been wanting to, know that you can, and it's not that far off. And for some reason, you guys have like destined yourselves to not getting there, but you can very easily get there, it seems to me. Seems like you're right there. Vesta, the home. Vesta is the Roman matriarchal goddess of the hearth, flame of the heart. Vesta and her 6 Vestal virgins were revered as high priestesses who offered warmth and offerings to the people. Vesta offers stability and warmth to your home. She is associated with nourishment, especially baked foods. Her humble pet donkey protected her from an intruder, and donkeys are considered sacred to Vesta. The sign for Vesta is an altar table with twin flames rising from it. Nurturing Vesta welcomes you to feel at home in the temple of your inner being. Your external physical home reflects your inner home. Vesta offers a sanctuary of warmth to your hearth and clan. Her energy nurtures a haven of belonging. So again, this is finding comfort. This is finding your sanctuary, your home, finding the place where you belong. And if you don't feel really connected, or if you feel outside of where you're trying to belong right now, it's time to go and find the right place for you. It's time to really think about what makes you truly feel at home, comfortable, happy. And if maybe you're trying to be rebellious in a way that is not supporting what you truly desire in your heart, what's going to make you feel satisfied, nurtured, and loved from within. And I think a lot of this has to do also with that Cancer full moon eclipse, because Cancer is that nurturing energy. So what do you want to nurture? What do you want to love? Don't you want to feel that right back from life? And if you're not feeling that, why? And how can I change that? And it feels to me like you're going to be focusing on some honest truths here about that, and which direction you really want to go from here. And I have to say, you know, they said the twin flame like rising from the tables. I couldn't help but immediately notice that. That's really important to you right now. And you really have to sit down and think about home, family, life. And if you're living, if you're at the place you really want to be, your goals and the life that you want to be living inside and out, and how you feel inside and out in terms of all that, is a lot more important than you guys have been giving it, okay? It has a lot more importance than you guys have been giving it. All right. Aquarius, those are your messages for this month of January. I hope you enjoyed them. Check out the readings for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Have a wonderful and blessed month. And if you or anyone else that you know ever needs a reading or anything, all that information is below to book one. Please make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share the video if you enjoyed it and you think it could help somebody. And have a wonderful, again, and blessed January. See you in February.